The Sigma male is a paradox, a man who exists outside the system yet thrives within it. He is the embodiment of self-mastery, independence, and quiet power. He doesn't seek the spotlight, yet his presence is undeniable. He doesn't follow the rules, yet he commands respect. He is the modern-day lone wolf, a rare breed of man who has transcended the noise of society and embraced his true nature. But why is it that 99% of men will never become Sigma males? The answer lies in their inability to break free from the chains of mediocrity, comfort, and societal conditioning. Here are 10 unique and brutally honest reasons why most men will never rise to the level of a Sigma male. 1. They are addicted to the illusion of connection. In a world where social media has replaced genuine human interaction, most men are drowning in a sea of superficial connections. They have hundreds of friends online but no one to call in a crisis. They mistake likes and comments for real relationships, and they cling to toxic friendships because they fear being alone. The Sigma male, however, sees through this illusion. He values quality over quantity, and isn't afraid to cut ties with people who drain his energy. He understands that true connection is rare, and that most relationships are transactional. Most men, however, are too emotionally dependent to let go of these fake connections. They would rather stay in a toxic friendship than face the discomfort of solitude. Until a man learns to detach from the illusion of connection, he will never embody the Sigma mindset. 2. They are obsessed with being understood. The average man spends his life begging to be understood. He wants his boss to appreciate his hard work, his partner to validate his feelings, and his friends to sympathize with his struggles. He craves empathy and understanding, but he rarely receives it. The Sigma male, however, doesn't waste his energy seeking understanding. He knows that true understanding is rare, and that most people are too self-absorbed to care about his struggles. Instead, he focuses on understanding himself. He doesn't need external validation to feel whole. Most men, however, are too emotionally needy to grasp this. They spend their lives frustrated and disappointed because they expect others to understand them. The Sigma male's indifference to being understood is what sets him apart, but the average man's obsession with it is what keeps him trapped. 3. They are addicted to hustle culture. The modern world glorifies hustle culture, the idea that you must grind 24/7 to be successful. Most men buy into this toxic mindset, thinking that their worth is tied to how busy they are. They wear their exhaustion like a badge of honor, bragging about how little sleep they get and how many hours they work. The Sigma male, however, sees through this facade. He knows that hustle culture is a trap designed to keep men enslaved. Instead of mindlessly grinding, he focuses on meaningful work and strategic action. He values quality over quantity and understands that true success comes from consistency, not burnout. Most men, however, are too addicted to the hustle to see this. They equate busyness with productivity, not realizing that they're just spinning their wheels. Until a man breaks free from hustle culture, he will never embody the Sigma mindset. 4. They are afraid of their own shadow. The Sigma male has faced his shadow, the darkest parts of himself, and come out stronger. He doesn't run from his flaws, fears, or failures. He confronts them head-on. He understands that true growth comes from embracing his imperfections and learning from his mistakes. Most men, however, are terrified of their shadow. They suppress their insecurities, project their weaknesses onto others, and live in denial. They blame their failures on external circumstances instead of taking responsibility for their actions. The Sigma male's willingness to face his shadow is what makes him powerful, but the average man's fear of it is what holds him back. Until a man is willing to confront his shadow, he will never unlock the power of the Sigma mindset. 5. They are addicted to quick fixes. In a world of instant gratification, most men are addicted to quick fixes. They want overnight success, instant results, and easy solutions. They fall for get-rich-quick schemes, fad diets, and miracle products, thinking that these shortcuts will lead them to success. The Sigma male, however, understands that true growth takes time. He doesn't fall for quick fixes or easy solutions. Instead, he focuses on long-term strategies and consistent effort. He knows that real success is built over time, not overnight. Most men, however, are too impatient to see this. They want instant results and are unwilling to put in the work required for lasting success. This impatience keeps them stuck in a cycle of mediocrity, while the Sigma male quietly builds his empire. 6. They are obsessed with fitting in. From a young age, men are taught to conform. They are told to follow the rules, fit in with the crowd, and avoid standing out. Most men internalize this message and spend their lives trying to fit in. They conform to societal norms, follow trends, and suppress their individuality because they fear rejection. The Sigma male, however, doesn't care about fitting in. He thrives on the fringes, where he can operate freely without the constraints of societal expectations. He understands that true freedom comes from being yourself, even if it means standing alone. Most men, however, are too afraid of rejection to embrace their individuality. They would rather blend in than stand out. The Sigma male's refusal to conform is what makes him powerful, but the average man's need to fit in is what keeps him weak. 7. They are addicted to hero syndrome. The average man wants to be the hero. He wants to save the day, fix everyone's problems, and be praised for his efforts. He thrives on being needed and often sacrifices his own well-being to help others. The Sigma male, however, doesn't suffer from hero syndrome. He knows that not every battle is his to fight, and that he can't save people who don't want to be saved. He focuses on his own goals and doesn't waste his energy trying to fix others. Most men, however, are too emotionally invested in being the hero to understand this. They often end up burned out and resentful, wondering why their efforts aren't appreciated. The Sigma male's ability to set boundaries is what sets him apart, but the average man's addiction to hero syndrome is what holds him back. 8. They are afraid of their own power. The Sigma male is fully aware of his power, and he wields it with precision. He doesn't shy away from his potential or downplay his abilities. He knows that he is capable of greatness and isn't afraid to step into his power. Most men, however, are afraid of their own power. They self-sabotage, play small, and settle for less because they're terrified of what they might become if they fully embrace their potential. They fear success as much as they fear failure, and this internal conflict keeps them stuck. The Sigma male's confidence in his power is what sets him apart, but the average man's fear of it is what holds him back. 9. They are addicted to the script. Society has a script for men, a set of milestones they are expected to follow. Go to school, get a job, get married, have kids, retire. Most men follow this script blindly, thinking it will lead them to happiness. The Sigma male, however, doesn't care about the script. He forges his own path and creates his own rules. He understands that true fulfillment comes from living life on your own terms, not following a predetermined path. Most men, however, are too afraid to deviate from the script. They fear judgment, rejection, and failure, so they stay on the well-trodden path, even if it makes them miserable. The Sigma male's willingness to rewrite the script is what makes him free, but the average man's addiction to it is what keeps him enslaved. 10. They are not willing to burn their bridges. The Sigma male isn't afraid to burn bridges. He knows that some relationships, jobs, and opportunities are meant to be left behind. He understands that letting go is often necessary for growth. Most men, however, cling to their bridges, even when they're crumbling. They stay in toxic relationships, dead-end jobs, and unhealthy environments because they're afraid of the unknown. They fear change and uncertainty, so they stay stuck in situations that no longer serve them. The Sigma male's willingness to let go is what propels him forward, but the average man's fear of burning bridges is what keeps him stuck. On final note, the Sigma male is not just a man. He is a rebellion against everything modern society tells men to be. He is a reminder that true masculinity is not about fitting in, seeking validation, or following the script. It's about forging your own path, embracing your power, and living life on your own terms. Most men will never become Sigma males because they are too addicted to the system, too afraid of their potential, and too unwilling to break free. The Sigma male is a rare breed, not because he is born different, but because he chooses to be. He is the embodiment of what men could be, but also a reflection of what most men are not. Until a man is willing to confront his weaknesses, embrace discomfort, and forge his own path, he will remain part of the 99% who never become Sigma males. That's all in this video, soldiers. If you like the video, consider subscribing to the channel. Now go out, conquer the world because you are the chosen one.